Kia ora and welcome to Kiwi Cop Stories. I'm Simon Wyatt. The topic of today's video is theft, specifically shoplifting. I'm going to offer up some crime prevention strategies and tips which I trust will assist you in keeping shoplifting to a bare minimum. Worldwide, losses from stolen merchandise are a serious problem, and store proprietors cannot afford to be unprepared, lenient or laid back when it comes to shoplifters. You can do a great deal to protect yourself before it happens, which of course is much more preferable than the actual detection and apprehension of those concerned. That's a no-brainer, because if you can stop it from happening in the first place, you're going to save yourself a whole lot of time and money. I see this video as being most beneficial to those who work in retail, particularly store managers or store owners. Now, there are two types of shoplifters: those who come into your store for that very purpose, or those that are in your store and see an opportunity to act and do so. Fewer shoplifters will operate if they believe they may be seen. It's important to note at this point that shoplifters come in all ages, races and shapes. There are no typical stereotypes. There are numerous studies and research projects done into why people steal and the best crime prevention methods. But when it comes down to it, it's all about reducing the opportunity to steal in the first place. It's quite simple when you think about it. So how do we reduce opportunity? We do this by manipulating things that are in our control, such as store layout, staff practices and policies, and having a no tolerance view of shoplifting at the prevention level and also at the apprehension level. It's all about changing our mindset from a reactive one to a proactive one, having a bit of common sense and being consistent. The first thing you should do is assess your store layout. I get that you, being a business owner or manager, have making profits in your mind first and foremost. I get that. Certain items in certain areas and things. But if you don't think about this seriously, all the potential profits you could have earned may be taken away by shoplifters who are taking advantage of this very thing. I suggest that you have a good hard look at your shop, and if faults exist in the store layout, such as blind aisles or areas where a shoplifter can work unseen or come in unobserved, that you correct these as soon as possible. Open up the floor area as much as possible and keep it tidy and well lit. It will make it a lot easier for staff to supervise and members of the public to see what is going on. If possible, think about the following things you could do. Place large mirrors about the store. This is a psychological and physical deterrent. It's relatively inexpensive too, compared to a lot of other security equipment. If practicable, provide baskets and trundlers and display signs asking for them to be used. Supervise the shop. Encourage free staff to move about and talk to customers. Install a door warning system at the door. Many shoplifters enter small shops, steal and leave without the staff even being aware that thieves were there. Try to arrange your display so that valuable, attractive and portable items are in places where they can be more easily supervised. Try to keep them out of reach, or at least place them where they cannot easily be pushed into a shopping bag or pocket. Preferably, they should be locked away in a cabinet. Stock take as regularly as possible. You may not realise that certain items are being targeted until you look at your stock levels. Then you can focus on eliminating thefts from those areas. Take a thief's perspective. Look at your store and with an open mind think what you would target and the reasons for that. In these days of goods attractively and prominently being displayed in stores with very few staff to supervise, management would be well advised to evaluate the losses that they are suffering and compare those losses with the costs of taking on more staff. Supervise and train staff properly. This is key. The attitude and behaviour of your staff could be the difference between potential thieves leaving empty-handed or coming back for more. Think of the difference that you see between someone who is confident, kind, friendly and willing to help, as opposed to someone who looks bored, uninterested and doesn't want to be there. The attitude of the second person will surely encourage theft. So how do you alter the attitude and behaviour of your staff? Here are some pointers. Hire team players, people that want the best for the store, the staff and customers. Leave staff in no doubt as to management's feeling on dishonesty. Have a written policy and procedure regarding shoplifting and what to do with shoplifters. Give staff a copy when they are first employed and ensure they understand it. It is important that management makes sure all new staff are properly briefed. If they're not, you've only got yourself to blame. How do you expect your staff to do the right thing if they're not given the proper instructions and know-how? Train staff properly on how to interact with customers. Poor service makes for easy pilfering. Give customers prompt attention as soon as they enter the shop, even if you can't serve them immediately. It lets them know that you're aware of what's happening in your surroundings. Every store should hold regular staff briefings on shoplifting prevention and anything happening in the area that they should be aware about. This is not merely for shoplifting, but for other types of crime or matters of personal or store security. If you're in a position to go undercover at the store as an employee, do so. See what the staff are like. This one is mainly for new owners or managers. Try to work in the store with other workers when you're first opening up or appointed to the role. Don't mention who you are, but just observe the staff in action to gauge their ability to do their job and their level of trustworthiness. I'm going to share with you now some methods of shoplifting which I saw in the early stages of my career, which staff should really look out for. Persons carrying an imitation box or parcel into which articles can be placed through a slit or loose flap. Groups of 2 or more shoppers, one may be trying to attract your attention away from others. Persons who place bags on the floor while sorting through racks, articles may be dropped into the bag. Persons who carry a large package, they may slide the stolen item between themselves and the package. Persons who slip items into rolled umbrellas. The man or woman with a pram who may fuss over the baby and drop goods between the blanket or mattress. Groups of children who loiter around counters containing sundry items. Many children regard shoplifting as a game. Persons wearing stolen clothing when leaving fitting rooms, also articles worn on the wrists or fingers. Persons acting suspiciously or appear to be drunk or on drugs, pay them special attention. I cannot overemphasize the importance of watching for shifty behaviour. Many shoplifters exhibit signs just before they steal something. Watch for things like the man or woman wearing a baggy sweatshirt on a hot summer's day, or the person that's taking an extraordinarily long time in one aisle. The longer you study people, the better you'll get at reading them, and you'll know when to start sounding the alarm. Trust your instincts. Here's some handy prevention tips for the larger stores. Employ personnel for the sole purpose of detecting offenders. This acts as a deterrent to thieves by customers and by employees. CCTV or similar security equipment. Its mere existence is a very good deterrent. However, CCTV is only half as good if the operators are poor. Countless times I've seen people have security systems and not know how to use them properly. Ensure a few people are trained in the system. This will assist in getting the footage to police ASAP so they can identify the people responsible. Consider electronic tagging, which can cover many varieties of merchandise and valuable items such as clothing or books. The next crime prevention strategy is having a no-tolerance view of shoplifting. This is important because it sets the tone the moment a customer enters the store and will discourage many would-be shoplifters. Place a sign at the front of the store detailing your view of no tolerance to shoplifters and that all thefts will be reported to police. This is a psychological deterrence. Get to know the local community cop and security, which will make it easier for reporting thefts, and they can give you updates on what's happening in the area and other things you should be looking out for. Keep a stack of trespass notices handy, so should you need to trespass any person, they are there ready to go. If you feel that shoplifting is about to occur, or you don't like the behaviour of any individuals in your store, ask them to leave immediately. Report such behaviour of suspicious persons to security or police. They may not have committed any offence, but they may have just committed a theft from other stores nearby. It is very common for offenders to go on stealing sprees, just as you would a shopping spree. Print off pictures of those people from the CCTV so other staff are aware of who they are. Brief other staff about what happened and what they should do should these individuals return. Place pictures of those not caught on a board so other customers can see you take a hardline approach to the topic. Get to know the people working at the stores around you. Share information about suspicious persons and activity in the area. See them not as competitors, but as an ally. Other things you should watch out for are price label switching and false returns. Now, it's also important that a no-tolerance view of shoplifting is adopted at the apprehension level. Report every theft to police, as leniency may worsen your problem. It's important that police get all the statistics of shoplifting happening in an area so that they and other stakeholders can respond accordingly. It's also likely not just your issue, but the community's issue at large. Experience shows that many people apprehended for shoplifting have been operating for some time. Make it absolutely clear to customers and staff alike that no leniency will be shown to anyone caught shoplifting by reporting all incidents to police. Where practicable, stop suspects outside the store. Intent is an important ingredient of theft. A person suspected of stealing should be followed and stopped outside the shop. They will then have difficulty in claiming that they intended to pay for the item, rather than if you apprehended them in the store and they said that they were intending to pay for the item. Where a person is suspected of stealing is brought back to the store, Never leave them alone. Have a system for warning staff when you are observing a shoplifter, which won't alert the shoplifter. This enables the police to be called immediately and efficiently. Leave all the searching, interviewing and arresting to the police. If the offender decamps, note his or her description, direction of travel, and if they're in a vehicle, try to obtain their registration plate. If possible, follow it and watch that nothing is thrown away. If you believe there is likely to be a confrontation, please step back, try to calm the situation. It's not worth getting hurt. We've now come to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please share the video with your friends, as awareness is everything. If you've got any other questions, enter them in the comment section below, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so you don't miss out on the next video, which covers theft prevention from employees. Thank you.